This is What the Ales Beer of the Week. I'm Will Quinlan, co-owner and brewer at the Big Friendly in Oklahoma City. This beer here is Oblique and Bent. It's petite Saison. It's something that is kind of brewed for selfish reasons. We were making Saisons that were 7%, and I just wanted something I could drink a lot of. And so I just reused the same yeast that we were using into some blend of Saison strains that I really like, and made something that's about 4%. So it's dry, it's crisp. It starts out with just a little bit of like light herbal flavors with some citrus, and then it moves itself into more things like juicy peach with a little bit of funk. It's got a lot of balance. But yeah, I love this beer, and lucky for us, we've won 2 gold medals with it at GABF. GABF is the Great American Beer Festival. It happens every year in Denver. It's the biggest competition for commercial brewers in the United States. I think there's over 9,000 beers submitted in competition, and I think just over 2,000 breweries that compete. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal for us to win the golds for this, and then for the past 2 years we've been able to win the Brewery of the Year award for our size category. The other beer we won is called Tapestry from an Asteroid. It's fermented in one of our wine barrels with Brett, and so we entered that into the Brett beer category, and that one also won gold this year. So I was home brewing with some friends of mine in San Diego, and then eventually I moved out here, and me and my brother started brewing together, and then we met the guys at Coop Ale Works and became good friends with them. And then we both at different times started working at Coop Ale Works. Him on the canning line, and then I started on the canning line also, but then moved into a brewer position, and I was there for about 6 or 7 years before we opened the Big Friendly. So I wanted beers. Always loved Belgian beers, and so I wanted to go down that road and see what I could do. And so it's been something I've been doing since I moved to Oklahoma, is testing out what I can do with Saison and Farmhouse. And I guess to me it's a historical beer that that farmers in Belgium and France would make in the wintertime, so they would have something crisp and easy to drink come summer, come towards the hot times of years. It's always crisp, it's always dry, it's always got some nice fruity notes, maybe a little funk in there, but it's something perfect on a hot day. I like it anytime because it goes well with, any meal, pretty much. So it's just an great all-rounder. I'm actually surprised that it's kind of had a heyday like 6 or 7 years ago, and now it's kind of dropped off, and so it's kind of fun for us to be able to brew smaller batches of it and still get it out on in our tap room and get them selling again, because it's a great style of beer, and I'll never stop making them. We kind of do the whole thing, so mainly it's lagers and IPAs and Saisons. We'll throw in a variety of other styles throughout the year, but I'd say those 3 are our mainstays throughout the year. It's a 10-barrel brew house. We have 6 10-barrel fermenters, 3 3.5-barrel fermenters. The 3 3.5s we are strictly for Saisons and wild beers. Everything else is for clean beers. We built this place, and I guess we started in 2020, and we have room to grow. We've already got that ready, so it's nice. But we don't have like big aspirations. We just want to make a good product, and just kind of do what we like, without the pressures of being a big brewery. Wheeler District is an old airport that was here, and I actually can't remember when it would close down. But Joe had some friends that were developing it, and they asked us if we wanted to be a part of it. And so we said, sure, this sounds great. So here we are. And so far it's working out. It's pretty great to be here. It's a good spot to be. For now, it's a small community. I think there's probably 200 homes behind us here. And then in front of us, we have restaurants. There's a taco place. There's a sushi place going in. There's barbershops. This street right here is Spoke Street, and it's supposed to lead all the way to the Ferris wheel at the end by the river eventually. And it's going to have shop homes, so people living on top, businesses on the bottom, very walkable, bikeable community. Just on the south side of the river from downtown OKC. But where our distribution is very small, I mean, we self-distribute. And so it's maybe 10 to 15 restaurants and bars, and I think 2 liquor stores. So, we don't make a lot of product. And so it's hard for us to, we don't want to be spread too thin. It's a beer that I'll keep making for sure, and I think we'll keep entering this as long as it keeps winning for us. But yeah, it makes me, we still want to enter other beers, and the main reason we entered in to GABF the first place was, we were like, well, it'd be cool if we won, but the feedback is really great too. They have really great notes for you about, maybe tighten this up or that up, things that you may not see. And that's how before we enter any of these beers, we have friends of ours that are certified judges that'll come in and tell us, like, yeah, I think this is good for this category, or this isn't quite right. So we're always listening to outside perspectives and trying to sharpen our craft. This has been What the Ales Beer of the Week, Oblique and Bent.